Not all of us in this chamber feel the same as the Democratic women. Most everyone in here, I believe, are mothers. We all were faced with whether that was a happy decision, a surprise decision, but we all up here that are mothers found out that day that we were pregnant. A lot of you already know my story, so I won't rehash that. But we've sat here for the past few days listening to so many mistruths. Like a woman is not capable of making that decision when she's young, or she's not capable of making that decision when she's older, or her life is not the best circumstances. Well, I guess I've become the poster child for the pro-life movement and the women in the house, and I'm okay with that, and I wear that with a badge of honor. But it doesn't change the fact that we've all been through it together too. We've all got some kind of story that we need to tell, or we've had a close call with a baby, or we've had a miscarriage, or maybe even someone up here's had an abortion. I don't know. I don't question that. I don't ask that of my women. I just know that it's not something that the women that stand behind me support. But they do support me and so many other people in the state who are fighting, just like us, to prevent the genocide of children. You can call it what you want. I've heard you call it a chemical fluttering. I've heard you call it a glob of tissue. I've heard you call it a fetus. But not one of you women who stood up here, or men, said, my baby, my baby. I think a lot of you should be happy you learned the word autonomy. You've never used it in your life, so you don't know what that means. I have autonomy over my body. I make decisions for my body. But y'all want separation of church and state? But the one thing my mom and dad did teach me was right from wrong. Yeah, I do have God in my life, but I know that murder is murder. If something's alive and it's growing, and it stops, it's dead now. If it has a heartbeat 1 minute and it doesn't no longer, it is now dead. So what do you call that? What do you call that when a 23-week baby is going through an abortion and you can see it on a screen as you're sucking his parts out and he's trying to get away from that instrument? What do you call that? Justification for the mother who did not want that baby? I was 16. I did not want a baby. Congratulations to all of you. Your moms didn't abort you. You're here fighting for others, making decisions for them. The voiceless that you're talking about, be a village for those women. Don't make them make the worst decision of their life that they are never going to forget. Could you imagine being at home with a couple of pills and this comes out of you bloody, full fingers? It's got everything formed. He's just not big yet. You would be okay with a woman going through that, seeing that, because it'll make her life better? No, this is going to give her nightmares. This is going to tear her up for the rest of her life. We've had story after story of where that is the case, and I don't know one woman, one friend of mine who has done that and said, well, gosh, my life is great now. I tout my abortion. I wear a badge of honor because I killed a baby. Be a village for those women. Tell them there's another option. Yes, pro-life means after birth, throughout their whole life. Let's teach our young people how to be responsible. Let's not talk about the rape and incest, the 1%. Let's talk about the everyday situations that all of us have been in. The Plan B pill. It hasn't been really talked about much. A woman has 72 hours to take that pill. If you're already pregnant, the package says you're still going to be pregnant. It only stops it if you're not yet pregnant. If you have we were joking about it all week, sometimes sperm are slow swimmers. And some of you were conceived because you had slow swimmers, but we're not going to talk about that. Like many of you said, I was elected because I am pro-life. People liked my stance on things, and just like Mr. White said, he's here because people wanted him to. And if there's so many women in this state that wants us to vote another way, Why are you guys sitting here, you Republicans? You're here because of your pro-life stance and that you want to save children. It is a win today. It's a win today for all the babies that are yet to be born. They're going to thank you. We just had Mother's Day. Hopefully all of you that have your mom still with you, you thanked her. Thank you. It was not a choice. Just like mine, my life was not easier. Way hard. Going to school with a child, working 40 hours a week, raising her. Yeah, my life really sucked, especially my dating life. It was horrible. No man wanted a girl that had a kid. Oh, she's got to get a babysitter. But it didn't matter. Every person knows right from wrong. Oh, she doesn't know how to be a mom. She's 16. God gave me those maternal instincts, no matter how old I was. It just comes out and you figure it out. And I saw her little face, made me work 10 times harder. Looking at that little face, Mom, 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 it got my butt in gear. And I want to thank all the women that are fighting this fight with me. Thank you for your stances. Thank you for being a voice for those. And it really saddens me that we all are not in the same place here, and that we all don't feel the same way. But we fight for the unborn because they don't have a voice. They are yet to have a voice, but they are very much alive. And guess what? What do you call a doctor that graduates last in his class? A doctor. They don't have all the answers, and I can tell you today, the devil's a liar. And if your doctor tells you that child is not going to be just perfect, well, I don't know about any one of you in here. None of us are. None of us are perfect. But we're here. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Oremus.